Here we are, Bridesburg. Right here, we have a burnt pile of trash. This is underneath I-95, right off of where the Richmond Street is. I think this is Wheatsheaf Street. And I think this is where I caught the guy dumping the other day. And I was like, yo, the dump's around the corner. And he kind of laughed in my face. And now the trash pile, that trash pile caught on fire. Now there's illegal dumping near the tires. I am about a quarter of a mile away from the city dump. See if we got anything good here for Steve Keeley. Oh, we got a diaper genie. Oh, that's fantastic. And the shopping cart. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be going for a bike ride. Don't forget, every time you see me riding this bike, I want you to think about the Mayfair Business Improvement District. Just follow their Facebook page. See all the stores in the area. Check out their events on the third Thursday of the month at Frankfurt and Cottman. Oh, by the way, this is the bike I ride. It's called a Hay Bike. It's the Mars 2.0. It goes about 27 miles per hour. If I keep it in a lower gear, I can ride this thing for about 60 miles. The shopping plaza in Port Richmond, you have, well, this is always kind of a shit show back here. But what you got going on this side with the dumpsters, people are dumping, people are putting their trash next to dumpsters. So now these businesses have to pay to get this trash removed because it's now on their property. We're a week into this strike. It's a week today. The union members, District Council 33, have gone a week without a paycheck, or this week would be the first week without a paycheck. I saw that the average salary is about $45,000, so it's going to start affecting the striking workers some more. Look at all this. No oil dumping there, says the sign with all the oil dumping there. So now it's going to affect not only the striking workers and the residents of the city, who, by the way, everybody's sick of the trash piles. Shocking. It's right here. They're hiring for $13 an hour. I saw something like the average trash truck worker, like $20 an hour. Seems, what do you think? You think that's low or high? I think that's kind of low. Here we are, Allegheny and Jasper. It looks like everywhere in Kensington, maybe parts of Harrogate, people are just taking their trash and they're not going to a dumping station, they're not going to a dumpster, they're just dumping it on the corner. You're seeing a lot of couches and mattresses. Pile at Reach in Allegheny. It's also, that's kind of becoming a new spot. Well, not new, it's been, people are hanging out there more and more. The city has claimed they cleaned up Kensington, but they didn't. What they did is, everybody who's addicted to drugs, the people who were addicted to drugs were kind of living in like a makeshift tent city all up and down the Kensington Avenue corridor. And then last year the mayor said, yeah, you got to take those tents down, and you can't live in tents. And now we have like nomad wandering people who are addicted to really hardcore drugs that are like eating at their flesh and destroying their lives. Yeah, cop car right here We're coming up to Roar Street. My mom, her old block, she lived about 2 blocks down in that direction as a kid. This is right in front of a corner store. And that pile has been there this entire strike. But I think the city's plan is all these bike rides, and I kind of figured it out. They're just kind of having organized chaos. These dumping spots, like right here is C in Allegheny. These dumping spots, they have a few dumpsters to hold trash, but I think they know it's going to overflow. And then the next day, they just send out these workers with backhoes and they clean it all up. Holy shit, man. I was here 2 days or 3 days ago and they were cleaning this up with a backhoe. And it somehow with the cleanup, it got worse. Oh, the smell is horrible. There's a few books for Steve Keeley. This guy's trying to do some work here at this home supply store, and he's running over bottles and glass. Yeah, they could live here. They could be just illegally dumping from a construction job they did earlier. It's about 10 a.m. on Monday. Like I said, we're a week into this strike. It smells just like you would imagine. So they only have 2 dumpsters here. They definitely need at least 10 just for this section of Allegheny Avenue. And this is C Street. And this entire block, I mean, it still is full of trash. But believe it or not, this is somewhat better than what I saw a few days ago. There they go. Had themselves a 4th of July weekend. Just throw all the trash in the pool. Let's throw that fucker out. There you go. Must be a friend of Steve Keeley. Oh, well, I never even inspect it around the corner, but it's pretty bad too. And that's right next to some homes. This is right down the street from C in Allegheny. Oh, goddamn, this pile stinks. Just random piles of trash everywhere. And then most of the houses, well, not, I don't know, a lot of the houses in Philadelphia are row homes. So they're all right next to one another. And the majority of the row home houses, the yards are kind of small, very small, not kind of small, very small. So, oh man, so people with these tiny yards, actually that's a pretty big yard back there. So the people are putting trash in their backyard, or they're just letting it sit out front of their house because there's nowhere else to go. Some of the people in every neighborhood, not just this neighborhood, people don't have cars. They can't drive their trash to one of the dump spaces. There you got somebody cleaning up the corners. These guys right here. Hey, I'm not playing the chicken music because I can't really see the chickens. I hear them. Trash is Monday afternoon for Tuesday morning. There you go. This is, what am I on? Diamond Street, Germantown and Diamond. So their trash day will be tomorrow. You put out the trash tomorrow, hon. Trash and recycling. I'm on the other side of Broad Street. This is 21st and Oxford Street. And around Temple University, where the college is, it's super clean. I think they... matter of fact, I saw a few pickup trucks just driving around with bags of trash with Temple logos on them, so they probably just have staff going around cleaning up the campus. But once you get off the college campus, it gets You got dumping in front of the one of the corners. People are just putting the trash in front. And again, the same thing as it is in Kensington or other portions of North Philly. Or the row homes just don't have small yard. They have small yards, so you have nowhere to put it. And then right here, these look like apartments, and this looks like maybe somebody moved out. The strike started at the 1st of the month, so you got evictions and move outs. This is the intersection of Cecil B. Moore and Ridge Ave, and all the corners have large trash piles. This is right in front of a Chinese restaurant. Over there's a large pile of trash in front of the Metro, and it's just piling up. There is also a public trash can there, so people are just dumping there. Same thing with this. This is a city trash can, so hopefully the clip people come by sometime in the near future. These piles right in front of this vacant lot. A lot of streets are closed down around here. Oh man. How would you like to live here and have that right across it? The smell of trash is everywhere. Even on blocks where you don't see large piles, you can smell, like maybe it's a block over, you can just smell it. So the smell of trash is taking over some neighborhoods. Other neighborhoods where they're not doing the dumping on the corners, it's not as bad. Look at this, you got a little farm. The Sanctuary Farm, right here. And it smells like garbage, because garbage is right there. But you do have flowers blooming. This is Norris Street. I'm at 24th and Norris. Somewhere around here is one of those dumpsters. Kind of seeing what it's like. Norris Street is named after a former mayor of the city of Philadelphia. My friend David Washington has a YouTube channel, KDJW5, and he talks about the streets of Philadelphia. And I learned a little something on last night's live stream, so make sure you give KDJW5 a subscribe. You got a trash truck right here. Now, some of the dumping spaces where the dumping is getting really out of control, instead of having dumpsters, they just have trash trucks at. Well, this isn't dump. That's a Philadelphia Housing Authority. In front of all these houses, every entrance, people are just dumping their trash. Not all of them, but right here. Just put the trash here. We'll figure it out one day. But we'll put all this trash. It's unfortunate that there's not an empty dumpster nearby. Oh, there's one literally across the street. So all those houses and apartments right there, all they have to do is walk one block here, and this is one of the legal dumping spaces where they don't have enough dumpsters, and you have more people just cleaning up the trash. But that's just fucking laziness. That's just lazy. I walked Rick the puppy the other day. And I was like, well, I'll just walk Rick and I'll take a bag of trash and I'll dump one bag. But this... Yeah, it looks like this whole block back here was kind of bad. What's this, Cross Key? Oh, it smells horrible. But this dumpster here is empty now. And this is around the corner from the dumpsters on Cross Key, right here on Dolphin Street. They're cleaning it. It's getting clean. It's just... It just looks horrible. It smells horrible. If you do get caught dumping in the city of Philadelphia, there's a $300 fine. Uh-oh. What's crazy about this section of, I think I'm in North Philly. The crazy part is there are more dumpsters in like this little area than like Bridesburg, Port Richmond, maybe even Kensington. I think Kensington only has like 2 or 3 dumpster spots. Literally, there's that trash pile I was just at. All you have to do is walk 2 blocks this way, and the dumpster's right here at 20th and York. They have this big vacant lot. And for some reason, instead of putting it in front of the big vacant lot, they have it next to these houses. Poor placement for these dumpsters. There are definitely bigger vacant spaces or abandoned spaces. There you go. Look at that. Oh, this is really bad smelling. You do have a cop sitting at this spot to prevent illegal dumping, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, oh, there's another mattress with a lot of stains. And gonna keep on moving. Here's another big pile. Not too far from the dumpster. This is really bad in this section with just the dumping on the corner. And I was standing at one spot for a little bit, just trying to figure out where the hell I am. And it's definitely neighbors who just come into the corner and just putting their trash here. Well, at least for the few piles I saw people do. Just walk up and just throw their daily trash. And it's just so many dumpsters available. Some people might be like, mad at the mayor. So this is like a form of protest. I would say it's a very small percentage of people. It's a protest. I think a lot of people are just fucking lazy. This is the historic Uptown Theater. James Brown, Michael Jackson, the Isley Brothers. Those, well, not Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5. Those are some of the people who performed at that theater. Another thing affected by this strike, the majority of the pools are closed, and the ones that are open on limited hours. So last week was kind of a hot week, and a lot of the pools weren't open. Water department is also on strike, so if you have a problem with your pipes, it could be a while. Yo, train dorks, see that train up there? Oh, we're dead. We're all dead. Here's one of my favorite murals in the city. And this is a squirrel eating a SEPTA token. A SEPTA token is what you used to use to ride the bus. They don't exist anymore. But this mural does. Luckily this week it's not going to be super, it's going to be in the 80s. It's not going to be super hot, but it's not like it was last week. So maybe that will help with the smell also. It's going to rain pretty much every day this week. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess that would help with the flies. Definitely feel bad for the people. There we go, train dorks. Who takes care of you? Definitely feel bad for the people who have to clean up the piles of trash that aren't at the dumpsters. Right here, we're at Mickey's Gym. Uh-oh, that's a big mirror. And maybe the city of Philadelphia, we need to take a good look at ourselves. Because I've lived in this city my entire life, and I put up with a lot of bullshit. My car gets broken into, hit and runs, the open air drug market not too far from my house that's killed friends and families of mine. This trash truck is the first time, first time I've ever said, I think it's time for the Philly captain to get the hell out of here. Yeah, this trash strike, it's just, you're seeing the worst in a lot of people. First off, we always knew the construction workers and companies in the city don't care about anybody but their businesses. I mean, I guess there are some good businesses, but I've seen so many people illegally dump. It's a good thing that the city's cleaning up all the trash next to the dumpsters, but these trash piles, the ones that have been here for a few days, oh man, that stinks. This is right next to a daycare, right near the old Kelly's Corner, which I described as an indoor flea market in one of my previous videos, and somebody said it was more like a department store. Man, it had a flea market vibe when I was there last, but can anybody confirm for me, was Kelly's Corner a department store like Clover, or a flea market like the Penn's Alkin Mart? Well, that's a word I haven't said in a while. It's going to be these large piles that sit here for weeks. Those are the things that are going to draw mice and rats, because if the city is cleaning up the dumpster areas every day, and by the way, what cost? At what cost are we paying these workers to pick up these trash piles? This is at Kensington. Getting close to Kensington and Lehigh. Go train doors, who takes care of you? Now down here on Emerald Street, right when you get near the train trestles, it's a pretty bad dumping spot when there isn't a trash strike. And I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like today. It's actually not that bad. Okay. Hashtag piss. Right here, you got a big pile. Emerald, man, hashtag piss again. Big pile of trash in the corner. This just keeps growing and growing. Oh, you got a bunch of shit going on down there. I'm not going to go down there, but yeah, there's a big pile of trash on that street. People cleaning up this pile. So I think that's what the plan is. We're just going to have piles of trash all over the city. They're going to pile up, and then we're going to send clip workers to clean it up, and which means the clip workers who go around covering up graffiti and doing their regular job, they're not going to be able to do that. It's a cycle, hon. It's a vicious cycle. Some good news. I'll give you some good news. This is Cahawk's Playground, which has been closed for about a year. Getting redeveloped, redesigned, and it's finally open. Wow, this is back when I was a kid at this playground, we just had like a piece of metal. It was jagged. You would get tetanus. Now you got, I don't know what that is, but man, this is fun. This is a nice little playground. This is opened up. Now the field, I heard, is covered in lead, so they have to do something with that to clean that up. But the playground is open, and it's super nice. Oh, so many broken arms are going to happen on that thing. So that is some good news. That's not, you know. I have to bring Kevin here. Oh, he's going to love it. I can't wait. It's so cool. I love taking my grandson to places I used to play as a child. Uh-oh. And you still got the worst kind of dumping. The playground dumping. Right next to the baseball field. More playground dumping in Port Richmond. Edgemont in Indiana. Stokely Playground. You come down here on Indiana Ave, And this was one of the worst dumping spots at the beginning of the strike. Yeah, right here where that trash truck is, there was a dumpster, and the whole street back there was completely covered in trash. So what they did is they closed off the street, and they have a they're renting a trash truck. Big truck rental. Was completely full of trash. It's completely clean now. Everybody just puts their trash in a trash truck. This is why trolleys stink. You got a double parker blocking the trolley. Yo, trolley dorks. By the way, who takes care of you? Let's go. It's the long rectangular one, right? Here it is. That's another thing we got coming up in this city. Our public transportation system, SEPTA, they usually SEPTA, their budget, they overspend and then the state bails them out. Well, this year the state is not bailing out SEPTA. So our public transportation center, or our public transportation system, is about to go to this, they call it the doomsday schedule, where buses are going to stop running after 9 p.m. So I just think about all the retail workers who work after 9 p.m. How the fuck are they going to get home if they don't have a car? Here's another playground in Port Richmond that's covered in lead. This is Moncabbage Playground. It's currently closed. You do have people living in there sometimes, but the playground, the field itself is covered in lead. So it's been closed for a while. People walk their dogs there. Also, there's a big mound of dirt for the I-95 project that's happening in this area. They're doing I-95 construction. Here are some of the buses. This is the new bus stop they built recently, SEPTA. And one of the buses, the 73, back over here, that 73 bus, which takes care of Port Richmond, Bridesburg, Frankfurt, and I think a little bit of Wissinoming. They're going to completely get rid of that bus line, which is going to affect about 6 little old Polish women who live in Port Richmond. This is Tioga Street. This is the street I've been documenting pretty much every day of the strike. I documented it the day before. There was absolutely zero garbage on this street a week ago. And this is what the scumbags did to this street. By the way, there's a mattress with a stain on it. And when I say 0 bags of trash a week ago, I mean that. There was nothing here. I feel like the city purposely cleaned all the major dumping spots right before the strike because they knew how bad it was going to be. And the thing that makes it even worse is the city's dumping space is, you just got to go a quarter of a mile, half a mile down the road. A lot of it's contractors who don't want to pay for dumping. This is a landscaper who just dumped all the shit from a job right there. This could be the same landscaper on a different day. Just coming by some more wood. If you need firewood, this is a good place to go. We're coming up to the trash dump on Delaware Ave. This is where the workers are picketing. There was a judge, like I think day 1 or day 2 into this thing, made a rule that the striking workers aren't allowed to block anybody from coming in and out of the trash dumps. People still throw their trash next to the dump. Yeah, they're keeping all the striking workers behind barricades, and then the people go in there and they dump the trash. I don't even know if they're checking. Are they checking ID? Yeah, they're not even checking ID. We also have our white-collar workers. They're on the verge of going on strike, too. And the thing is, with the last contract they signed 40 years ago, or 4 years ago, the prices of everything have gone up. Ever since COVID, everything's just been going up, right? And the only thing that hasn't gone up is the wages. So these union workers, they have to make a statement. This is a big dumping spot near the... It's actually not that bad. There's more piles of trash on fire. Uh-oh. So these union workers got to make a stand somehow. The mayor got a raise of 3%, but I believe that was something a mayor did like 20 years ago. That, you know, the mayor gets a 3% raise in 20 years. It wasn't her doing. But the offer she offered the sanitation workers the first time was like 2.75%. And when you get a 3% raise and you don't give your workers a 3% raise, people are going to be like, not a good look. So I saw the mayor say, I'm giving the city employees the biggest contract ever. And then she says, in 30 years, which means it's not ever, it's just 30 years. Which in the city of Philadelphia, that's 3 or 4 mayors ago. It's not that big of a deal. Back there is the new park coming to the neighborhood of Bridesburg, the Bob Borski Park. City's hanging up signs, getting ready for the new park. And we're going to check out the dumpsters here at Bridesburg. The dumpsters are a little overflowing right now, but it looks like they're getting picked up. You got one full dumpster, and you got an empty one on this side of the street. A little bit of trash. It's not too bad. There it is. There you are. Yeah, it's not too bad. In this dumpster, we have 2 guys sitting there, and if they see anybody who has a contractor, somebody illegally dumping, they just say, "Hey, listen, not here," and they go somewhere else. They probably dump it on the corner around the block. Listen, I have a Patreon. If you want to help out the channel, I have a Patreon. I also do cameos. I've been doing a lot of fantasy football draft orders, so if you want to, here's some of the striking workers across the street. If you want to book me on Cameo, I can do your fantasy football draft order. Just give me the names of the teams, and I can put them in order. Hit subscribe. We got baseball stuff coming up. There's a lot of cool things. I'm doing a radio bit on 719. I'm doing the Philly Captain Trivia Extravaganza at the E House in Ben Salem on 729. Check that out. That's gonna be a good time. And Cameo pay. Oh, merch! Check out my t-shirts. My merch is fire.